Welcome to Speedy Walkthroughs, where we show just the important stuff for beating the game. For first-time viewers, this will look different to a normal walkthrough. It shows just the essentials, so you don't need to spend a long time watching this video. Before we get stuck into it, if you like this video, consider subscribing to keep up to date. Helps out the channel a whole bunch, and there should be a new walkthrough out each week. Also, feel free to leave a comment if you have any other games you'd like me to cover. Now, this walkthrough will use footage from Pokemon Sword, but it should cover both Pokemon Sword and Shield on the Nintendo Switch. There's only a few slight differences. We'll be getting to the end of the game to see the credits, and there's also a little bit to do in the post-game, which I'll show you as well. 100% is a bit hard to define in Pokemon, so I won't be like catching all the Pokemon or anything. You need to trade to do that, but I'll show you where to go to beat that main story and get all the main content in the game. So we start out the story and we get this cutscene in your house. Once the cutscene's over, you get control of your character. You can go around and talk to your mum or Munchlax, but eventually you just want to head over to the right here and grab the bag at the end of the room. Now I'm just going to go through and change some settings, so text speed to fast, and you can set the battle style to switch or set. If you want the game to go even faster, you can turn off the battle effects. I just did here for the video footage, the battle effects are kind of cool. But with the battle style switch or set, set is a little bit harder, but it's a lot quicker. Shift is a little bit easier, but slower. Alright, we can head out of the house, and then we get a loading screen and we just spawn into the map here. You'll head down your stairs and get this little cutscene of the sheep near the fence, and then when you're ready you can head out to the right down this path, and just towards this building here. You get a cutscene inside, and then we can just head out the door. Alright, once you've done that, just heading over to the left and forward here. And after you talk to him, just keep heading forward. And you'll come across him again. But you can just head into the town here towards this crowd of people. Alright, you'll get a fairly long cutscene, and at the end of it, you'll get to pick from the 3 starter Pokemon. If you've played Pokemon before, this is the pretty standard choice: fire, water, or grass. And each of these types has different type effectiveness. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about the battling in this walkthrough, it's more about where to go in the game, but here's a type chart in case you need it. So, for example, if you look at the top left there, water, if you're the attacker, is 2 times effective against fire. So if you use a water move on a fire type Pokemon, it'll be twice as strong. And then you've got resistances, which are only half as strong, and immunities, which do just 0 damage. So for example, ghost types and normal types, they can't hit each other. At least not if they're using ghost type and normal type moves. One other thing I'll mention is that if you use a move that's the same type as your own Pokemon, it does 1.5 times the damage. So for example, if you had the grass type Pokemon here, grass type moves would be stronger. Alright, I'm going to pick the water type here, just for various reasons. If you do want to follow along with my battles, you can pick the water type as well. But you should be able to follow this walkthrough regardless of who you pick. Alright, after a bit more cutscene, we get into a battle here. So pretty much all you can do is pound or growl if you've picked this Pokemon. I would recommend pound. All growl does is it lowers their attack stat, so you're not really dealing much damage if you do that. So just keep doing that. And you'll eventually level up, so we're going to learn Water Gun here. That's our first water type move. And so we're pretty much just going to keep using that against the fire type Pokemon. So you can just see how effective it is there. It's 2 times damage on Water Gun, but then it's also 1.5 because we're a water type. Okay, go through this and we'll level up again and we'll finish that battle. Alright, at the end of all this, we just head back out and we get this little cutscene here, back towards the house. Alright, when you're ready, just head off to the left here. And we're into the forest. Alright, so you're going to go through, if you go into grass, you'll have wild Pokemon come up and try and battle you. So you can either kill them for some experience points, or you can just run away from them, up to you. Eventually we'll be able to catch them as well. Keep going through, you're going to get into various battles here and there. Alright, we head up into this section of the forest. Just keep going up through the fog and everything. Yeah, we get this cutscene. So this is like the main legendary Pokemon of the game. You can try and attack it, it won't really do anything. And just keep going through. All we can really do is try and run, try and attack it again. And eventually the battle will finish up. Okay, we get more of a cutscene and we'll keep going. Alright, once all that's done, you'll pop out of the forest. You can go back into your house. And you can talk to Mum. And then head back out. Alright, we're just going to head down the path here. Now, there's sheep blocking the path, so we've just got to keep going through the grass here. You can fight a lot of these Pokemon if you want, but I'm just going to avoid them here and pick up items and stuff along the way. All the way down here. And we get a cutscene and we head into the lab. Alright, we go through, we get the Pokedex and a potion on the way out. And then we're going to head to the left and up through town. Run into Hop again. He'll show us the Poke Center. So the Poke Center is good for healing up, buying items and all that. If you want, you can buy some potions and some healing items to heal yourself up if you get hurt. But then we're going to head up here. And just around the corner, we can head to the right out of town. Alright, so we're encountering Hop again. And we're going to see how to catch Pokemon here. So essentially all you need to know is take away some health from the Pokemon and throw Pokeballs, and then you should be able to catch them. So I'm going to catch this Pokemon, for example. We're going to use Water Gun a couple of times until it's low on health. Make sure you don't accidentally take all of its health. And then when you're ready, go into the bag and use Pokeballs. The lower the health, the easier it is to catch. Also, if you get any moves that can like put it to sleep or something like that, then that makes it easier again. Eventually we'll get better items than Pokeballs to catch Pokemon as well, like Ultra Balls and stuff. Alright, keep going through here. I'm going to catch this Pokemon as well. And I catch one of these too. Just getting a bit of a variety of Pokemon. Generally, it's easier in Pokemon games to go through with just one main Pokemon and just level that up heaps. I think what they want you to do is have a whole bunch of different Pokemon, but it's just way less efficient. Reason being because like your main Pokemon gets heaps of experience points, and then that's just going to level up heaps and be really strong anyway. This game does distribute out experience points to the other Pokemon in your party, but it's good to just have one main one that levels up heaps. So if you're low on health, keep using potions and just keep going through these trainer battles here. Once you've used some moves on Pokemon as well, you'll see whether they're super effective or not super effective, so that will help you decide which moves to use. Alright, go through here, we'll get another cutscene. Alright, once you're ready, just head out of the house here. And you can get a bottle of fresh water in the grass there. And we can also head up here and grab another item. It's a Great Ball. That'll just make it a little bit easier to catch Pokemon, which will be good. You can also head around the back of the house and grab some items here as well if you want. Alright, once you've done all that, we can just head back out. And we'll come across Hop here, and we have a little battle. Now, if you pick Sobble, you'll be about level 12 at this point. When you get to level 12, you'll have the opportunity to learn Water Pulse. I'll be teaching over Bind here, so my moves are going to look like that. Alright, after this, we have a little cutscene and learn about Dynamaxing Pokemon. It's basically just this thing you can do to make it really strong temporarily in a battle. We talk to Hop outside. And then we're going to head down. Alright, all the way back out that way we came in before. If you see any like shiny objects there, that's usually an item that you can pick up. Alright, so he's going to run down to the store. We're just going to head down here. And he's given us a TM for Swift. Now, TMs are interesting. You can teach them to Pokemon who may learn them. You can see that in our menu here, we can see who can and can't learn them. So our Sobble can learn Swift, and I'm actually going to teach that. So we'll teach it over Growl. Swift is just a little bit stronger as a move there, so it's really good at this point in the game. Okay, so we get to the train station here, and we get a little cutscene going through. And pretty much this will take us to the big wild area here. It's a very big open space. Okay, so go through to the gate, talk to him for a bit, and we get a cutscene. And then we're pretty much free to roam around here. So we'll see some Pokemon here and there, and we can take care of them. I'm going to catch that Metapod. Doesn't really matter who you catch too much. If you see any of the big glowing things, you can fight those, and they're pretty good for experience and stuff. They sometimes drop EXP candies, which will help you level up as well. So this is one of the dens that can be glowing, but that one wasn't. A couple of items you can pick up along the way, but basically you just want to head towards those steps in the distance there. I'm going to go here and catch a Snorunt. Ice can be a good type. Ice is good against grass, and grass is effective against our starter Pokemon, so it's sometimes good to have an ice type if you've started with water. Okay, I'm going to do one of these battles here. So they're basically it's a big Pokemon, and you take care of it. Eventually you may get the opportunity to catch it as well, and you can pick up lots of goodies. So sometimes with items and stuff, you can just get EXP candies and things like that, and it'll help you level up a lot more. When you're ready, head up the steps and you're into this city here. Once you're in the city, just head forward and left to the Poke Center. Get a little cutscene there, and we can head in. Alright, so we heal up our Pokemon and we'll just head out. And we head to the right here and get more of a cutscene, and we're going to head forward. Yeah, you get another cutscene as you approach this, and then we can head forward off here. And we can go into the gym. You can choose whatever uniform number you want, and then when you're ready, just head to the left here, and we'll stay here for the night. More of a cutscene in this little bit, and then we just talk to the desk. Now, this is your team that you got to fight against in this game. Basically, they'll just show up every now and then, and you got to deal with them. So you get into a few battles here. And you've also got double battles, which will have 2 Pokemon. Then you can just sort of attack whichever one's better to attack. Alright, we're going to have more cutscenes, and then we'll eventually head out the front here. Alright, when you're ready, just head over to the right. Sorry, my bad, into the actual gym itself. Okay, so he wants us to get changed into our uniform. We have the opening ceremony, and then we sort of start out. Okay, so we have that opening ceremony, but he's basically telling us to go to a different gym first before we can battle this one. So we're just going to head out through this bit. Talk to this person, and we're just going to head down out of the gym. Alright, once we've done that, just head down here. And you can just head over to the left. There's an item that we can grab here. So that'll just help you catch Pokemon easier. When you're ready, head up onto this wheel. And we're going to head into the station. And then when you're ready, keep heading up. And then basically just take a left out of the town here. Alright, Hop will challenge us again. You might have some Pokemon evolve as well if you've caught any. Alright, we're just going to heal up here before we head out of town. And head out to the left. Heal Ball is an interesting one. It'll heal up any Pokemon that you catch. Not super useful, but it can sometimes be used. Alright, I've accidentally fainted my starter, so I'm going to head back out, heal, and then go back left again. Trainers will battle you and stuff, but just get through the trainers and just keep heading to the left along this route. We'll eventually get this cutscene here, and just keep heading to the left. Right, we'll evolve at this point as well. So evolving will just make us a bit stronger. And we're just going to head into this cave here. So I will mention that this cave has lots of like rock type Pokemon. So any trainers like this, you may want to fight just for experience points. Because they're rock types, our water type moves are going to be quite strong against them. So that'll always be quite good. Alright, back into the cave, we're just going to head out. We'll come across these rock type Pokemon as well. And a couple more trainers. Alright, head up there, there's a revive there. The revive's a really good item to have, so make sure you pick that up. And we come across this trainer towards the exit. Now Stardust, the only really good use for that is to sell it at the shop, so if you need more money you can sell the Stardust. You can also go up to these trees and you can shake them to get the berries from them. And I'm actually going to go and attach some items. So Mystic Water is going to make our water type move stronger. So that's a really good item to give to our Pokemon. And if you want, you could use some EXP candies there and stuff if you'd like. Go and talk to this trainer. And we'll head through. Now your level will probably be different to mine, but sometime around here you'll reach level 19 and have the opportunity to learn Tearful Look. Don't learn it. It's not really worth it. And when you're ready, just keep heading up. And we'll make our way into town. So that's a gym leader there. Now it's a little bit nasty because this is a grass type gym and it's the first one. And we've got a water type which is weak to grass. So water can be a bit rough for this reason, but overall in the game it can be quite good. So pick up some potions or Pokeballs or whatever you want. And then we go to the left here and see that. And then we go and get the Pokeball here with some X attacks in it. When you're ready, just head back to the right and forward. And we go right towards the gym here. And talk to this person who will let us in. Alright, we basically just got to herd the sheep here. So just group them all up and herd them forward. And we'll come across various trainers here and there. The last one can be a bit annoying, but just try and group together as best you can and head on through. Once you've done that, we're just going to head forward into the gym battle itself. Alright, I get a bit of cutscene starting out here. I'm going to use X Attack on my Pokemon. What X Attack does is it makes you a little bit stronger just for this one battle, particularly your physical attacks. So something like Pound and Swift are physical attacks. I think Swift is. And something like a Water Gun wouldn't be, because you can imagine that you're not really touching the other Pokemon. My apologies, I think Swift is the special attack. So yeah, basically if your Pokemon is touching the other Pokemon like Pound, it's usually physical, and there's something like Swift is like a projectile, so that's special. So X attacks will make Pound stronger, basically. And they're really good for this gym because they're grass-type Pokemon, so you've sort of got to watch out. They're pretty strong against us, so that's why I've used the X attacks here. Okay, just heal up and do whatever's appropriate, and you should be able to make it through eventually. The other thing is with revives, so if you have this Pokemon die, you can use a revive on it and it'll heal up. And so a good strategy can be to have a few other Pokemon in your party so that they can use revives on your actual strong Pokemon. And the other thing you could do is swap to a flying type Pokemon. They'll be super effective here in this gym. Alright, when you're ready, you can Dynamax your Pokemon. It's just like a special button on the side there. It'll just give you a bigger, stronger version of your Pokemon. And I've waited until their Pokemon Dynamaxed before I Dynamaxed. And then you sort of matched with them. Unfortunately, I fainted, so I'm just swapping to a flying type and finishing it off, really. See what you can do, but if you've got enough Pokemon, you should be able to get through the gym battle. Alright, we go through, we get a TM for winning the gym. And I'm just actually going to buy a whole bunch of super potions. They're really useful. When you're ready, head out. And over to the right, we can heal up in here. And just keep going to the right now. Alright, these people will spot you. You get like a little double battle with them. Keep heading to the right and down this path. You can talk to this guy, have a battle with him. I'm also just swapping my Snover into the second spot. That means that if we have any double battles or anything, it'll come out as our partner, and this Snover's a good complement to our water starter. Keep going through more battles. And then head up towards this building, but just go past it, over to the right. And we get our Team Yell again. Alright, this guy will give us a bike for beating Team Yell. So you just hit the plus button and you can go straight on your bike. You can also charge it up and go faster. And we get a battle here. Alright, once that battle's done, we're just going to head over to the right. Alright, we get X special attacks, which are honestly a much better item for our starter Pokemon. So if we have any tough battles, you can use those and your special attacks will be stronger. So that's moves like Swift and Water Gun and stuff. Heading into this town here, I'm just going to heal up straight away. And you get a cutscene. Alright, once that cutscene's over, you can just head forward. So this is a water type gym. Our Pokemon will be fairly neutral with it. And you're better off using moves like Swift against water types. Like a normal type is neutral, whereas water moves are half effective. You want to go and talk to the leader here. And then we want to head back into the gym. Get changed and we go through. Basically at this point you've got various like maze-like puzzles, so you just want to head to the right for this first one. So at some point around here you'll reach level 24 with your starter and you'll get the opportunity to learn Sucker Punch. I'm going to teach it over Pound at the top there. Once that's done you can hit that switch and that'll swap the water. And then hit the switch again once you've hit the yellow one. Just go up through here, we get another trainer battle. Alright, heading up through. And the red switch again there. Alright, I'm putting Snover at the front of my party just because there's lots of scary water types here. I've also changed the battle style to shift in the options menu. Just because we might want to shift around our Pokemon a bit. It basically gives you the option to swap Pokemon whenever a trainer sends out a new Pokemon. And if you don't have that option on, it'll take you a turn to swap out, which you will take damage in and stuff. Anyway, keep going through. You can use Ice type moves on any water types. They're often really good. Alright, when I recorded the footage, I had a lot of trouble with the maze. So get the maze looking like this. So you want this red one and this blue one off, and the yellow one there on. And then you can hit the blue switch there, which will turn the 3 blue ones off, and then you can head up through. Apologies about that. Obviously the maze was too tricky for me when I did this playthrough. Alright, when you've finally gotten through the maze, you'll get to the gym leader. Now, I've also taught Snova the move Magical Leaf instead of Mist down the bottom there. That was a TM that we picked up from the grass gym. So if you have a Snova, you can have Magical Leaf. If not, it doesn't really matter too much. You just fight with whatever Pokemon you got. Alright, keep going through. We can Dynamax if we want and just do various bits and pieces in your battle. Alright, once you've done that, the gym's completed. Do you get Whirlpool as a TM? Now, our starter couldn't learn Whirlpool, which is a bit weird since it's a water type, but I'm going to use some EXP candies just to level it up a bit more. Alright, head out of the gym here. You basically just want to head down. I went the wrong way here when I went up the steps, but go down from the steps and you'll get to the restaurant. And then in the restaurant here, you'll get a cutscene play out. So talk to these guys at the back and you'll get this cutscene. And then we can head out of the restaurant. Okay. When you're ready, head to the right. And just go through this tunnel and progress on. Alright, after this battle, we can keep moving forward. You'll come across various trainers. There's an item off to the right there. And we go and encounter Team Yell. Alright, once you've done that, we can head through. Now, my starter died there, so I'm just reviving it. But keep heading down through the cave. There's a TM off to the right that you can grab if you like. And then we're going to head down through the path here. You get a little cutscene here and then you'll run off to the left automatically. Alright, moving on here. If you ever get low, just heal up with your potions and stuff. Keep heading to the left. Alright, you can ride around town for a bit, but basically, once you're ready, you can try and head towards the gym, but he'll make you go to sleep for the night. You get a little battle in here. Alright, once you win that battle, you'll just finish this off, get a cutscene. And you'll automatically sleep for the night and wake up. So now that we've done that, we can actually head over to the right here and go towards the gym. Alright, head into the building. Talk to this guy. And we go towards the gym challenge. Basically, our goal here is to earn the most points. So we'd like to catch Pokemon if we can. So the strategy there is just to weaken them and then throw Pokeballs to catch them. Heal up when you need to, just keep going through catching Pokemon. Alright, when we're ready, we get the gym battle. Now, conveniently, this guy's got fire types and we're water types, so we're actually going to be super effective this time, which will make it a lot easier. Alright, once you've beaten the gym, you just want to head on out. Get a few cutscenes here and there. And just head down out of the gym. Now at some point here we'll reach level 30 and we'll get the opportunity to learn U-turn. I'll be teaching it over Water Gun here, and the reason being we already have another water type move in Water Pulse, so it's good to have that. U-turn is a bug type move, so it'll be super effective against grass types, which is really good because grass types are super effective against others. We get a cutscene with the 3 gym leaders we fought so far, and then just automatically head out of town. We're into another wild area here. So remember, if you want to level up those big glowing things that have like a red line going into the sky, they can be quite good. I'm just going to head over this bridge. And you can sometimes encounter pretty strong Pokemon like this Snorlax here. But anyway, just head through. I might actually show that full path, my apologies. So I've just come across the bridge. So pretty much just heading towards that big castle looking thing in the distance. Some of these Pokemon are super strong, so you just got to be a bit cautious when you're fighting them. You might be able to take on a stronger thing like this Rhydon, because it's like a rock type. Our water type's going to be quite good, but it is level 41, so you do have to watch out a bit. If you do take it out, you'll get a ton of experience, which is good. So again, I'm sort of getting into a fight with Sudowoodo here. It's a rock type, so it can be really good for leveling up. So we're a water type, we're super effective. If we can beat level 40, we just get a ton of experience points. Alright, continue heading up. You can do some of these things if you want, just to get some experience and items and stuff. When you're ready, just head back a little bit because you want to head up this slope here. And then when you're ready, just go up to the steps and talk to this guy. When you get into town, I'm going to head straight left and go to the Poké Center just to heal up a little bit. And we can head out. We'll get some items before we head out. Revives are really good and you can buy them here. You can also get any of those other items that we're looking at in the shop as well. Okay, when you're ready, head up through the bridge there. And then just head out of the building, over to the left. We can get an item there. And we can head through to this bit. And in here. There's another item there we can get as well. And head up into here, get a big cutscene, and we can head back down. Once you're ready, head over to the left. So we can bike across here, we'll see Team Yell again. We can head back in after you fought them just to heal up. Once you've healed up, just head left out of town again. Right, we're going to head up these ladders here. And once you've fought these 2 trainers, it's the far one that you want to head up here. We can get Dig there as a TM. And we can head down this ladder here. Alright, I've caught an Axew, which is a dragon type. That's going to be handy later on. And we can just grab this item and head off. I'm just going to use some EXP candies to level up a little bit. And when you're ready, you can head up this ladder here. And once you fought this trainer, we're basically into the next town. So we get a little cutscene, we go in the Poké Center and heal up, and head out. Get a battle here. Alright, after that battle, we just head up towards the gym there. We can get some items there just to heal up if we need to. And we can get changed and head in. Okay, so we got a funky gym challenge here. We sort of just got to steer our way through this bit. And we get some trainer battles along the way. Alright, next one, something like this. Just got to watch out for these hands that shoot you up. Alright, heading down through this bit. Make sure you're fully healed up, and then we'll head into the gym battle itself. Alright, now at some point around here, we're going to get the opportunity to learn Liquidation when you're level 38. So I'm actually not going to be teaching this. You might also notice that I've taught Snipe Shot over Swift there. So if you didn't have Snipe Shot, it might actually be a good spot to put Liquidation. So you can either put Liquidation in your third slot, in your second slot there, or you can just not teach it at all. But you should get Sucker Punch, U-Turn, and Water Pulse as your other moves. Alright, and eventually we'll win, and we'll go back out. Alright, we'll get this little cutscene, then we'll have to head left up here. We can pick up a Max Revive there. That's a fantastic item, so make sure you absolutely get that. And we get a battle. Alright, after the battle we get a bit of a cutscene. And the wall sort of breaks open. Alright, so we'll head down here to heal up. When you're ready, we're going to head out of the Poké Center and up right into one of the coolest locations in Pokemon, in my opinion. Alright, once you fought that dude, you can just head down and around. You can hit the mushrooms on as well. Up towards here with this double battle. Alright, after this double battle, you just want to head up. Got an item we can grab there. And another battle. Alright, so we'll finish this one. You can head down there to grab Snore if you want. And then just head straight up the path here. And this gets us into the actual town itself. So we'll head in here and heal up. Then when you're ready, head out and go towards the gym. Get this cutscene here, and we can head into the gym. Okay, so we're going to do a few battles here. After the battles, we'll go into this bit, so just make sure you're fully healed up and everything. Alright, you'll fight the gym leader and then get the badge. So we can head in there, buy some more items. We get Hyper Potions now, which are really good. They'll restore a bit more health. And we can head out here, we'll get a cutscene. Which will take us back here. We can heal up, and then we can sort of go up this bit and towards the bridge. Okay, we get a bit more of a cutscene here. And then we can go over here. And then we can talk to Hop. And head out over here. You talk to him again at the end of the bridge, and we'll have a battle. Alright, so that battle's done. Now we can head over here to find Team Yell. And you can also head up and fight this guy. Alright, when you're ready, head up into this bit. We're going to head down this one of two ladders and get into this fight here. And there's an item we can grab up in this section as well, Shiny Stone. And then head up this ladder. Keep going through. So grab an item up there, and we can head up the stairs on the left if you want. You can head down this ladder. You can fight the trainer first if you want. I'm just trying to get some more experience now, that's why I'm sort of fighting everything. I've been dying to a few battles, so I figure more levels may help that. When you're ready, just head up here and you get snowy area. I'm just fighting as many battles as I can. Now around this point you're going to hit level 46 and have the opportunity to learn Soak. Don't learn it, not worth it. Eventually you'll just go up into the main town here and you can go and heal up in the Poke Center on the left. We can get this TM here and head up towards the gym. Let's go and grab some goodies, so revives are really good. Now we can head in. This one's a little bit weird. You've sort of got to sense where the holes are, and the thing will beep if, or like make that little wavy thing if there's holes nearby. So you got to sort of avoid those. What I'll do is I'll just go to the end of each section and show you where the holes were at least. If you fall down them, it's no biggie, you just sort of try again. Alright, so with this one, that's where all the holes are, if you want to just use that path. This one's also like a sandstorm. Anyway, this is the third one, so this is where all the holes are if you want it. And we'll head up to the gym later. Alright, there we go. Once you've finished that battle, we'll head out. You get this cutscene. And you can talk to her in the restaurant. You also go over to these pools. And we have a battle with Hot. Alright, once we've done that, we can head out. Just over to the right here and down. Just want to heal up before we head out of town. Now, out of the Poke Center, we can sort of head right and down and we'll come across Team Yell. Grab that max potion on the way though. So we'll get into a battle here. Alright, so this guy will sort of upgrade our bike. We can go on water now. Anyway, we'll sort of just bike around the water for a bit here. We can fight this guy as well. And just sort of head down. Now maybe around here you'll reach level 54 with Inteleon. You'll have the opportunity to learn Rain Dance. Don't do it, it's not worth it. So keep heading down, you'll come into this grassy area. You'll fight a couple wild Pokemon, but just keep heading through. Alright, when we come towards this big door here, we get a cutscene. We can head out to the left. Grab a scope lens if you want. Now this is sort of the Team Yell / Marnie area. We're about to get another gym badge. So we have this fight here. Just get through that. Alright, once we've done that, we can sort of head into town. So heal up here, and we're pretty much just going to head to the right here. So we'll fight various Team Yell people. Alright, eventually we'll get to the very right hand side of the town, and this is the gym leader, so we'll deal with this. Alright, once you win the fight, you'll get your gym badge, and then we're done through here. You can head back out here and grab Snarl if you like. And then we get pulled back out here, get a little cutscene. And we're encouraged to check out the tunnel here. Keep heading to the left. Now we can deal with this guy. And head to the left again. We can heal up here. And we get another cutscene here. When you're ready, head up into here. and we can go and challenge the gym. Alright, after you fought these trainers, you'll get a brief window to heal up if you want. And then you can head into the actual gym leader battle. And that actually we caught before, the dragon type, may have evolved for you by now if you've caught one. Dragon is good against dragon, so that'll help in this gym. If you have any ice moves as well, they're going to be good against dragon types. But keep going through and we'll make it to the end. Alright, so we beat the gym leader, and then we'll make our way out. Okay, so a little cutscene here. Right, now when you're ready, you can head into the train station on the right side of town. And we'll get a cutscene in here. And we'll ride the train and head up. Okay, so basically he's going to climb this mountain up here. You'll come across various trainers along the way. Use super potions if you'd like, and then just keep going up the mountain. One thing that I will mention, save your super potions to use outside of battle and your hyper potions in battle, because a potion takes a turn to use, so you might as well get a lot of HP out of a potion if you're using it in battle. Just keep heading up the hill here. Alright, so once we load into the town, I'm just going to go and heal up in the Poke Center and head back out of the Poke Center. And we can bike up to the top here, and you go into this big building. Talk to the desk here. And we can head in. Alright, we'll come across Marnie and do battle, and then we head out. Okay, so we're just going to head down here and heal up. Get some more items as well. Full restores can be really good. Full restores, well, they heal all of your health, but they also heal any status conditions all in one turn. So they're really good for the end game here. Well, I say end game, we're going to get to the credits in a second, but then there's some post-game stuff. Alright, head up into this elevator and into the stadium. When you're ready, get into your next battle. This will be against Hop. Alright, once you've done that, we can just head out the elevator. We get this little cutscene and head into this room here. Okay, once you've done that, just head out. You get more and more cutscene. You're going to talk to these guys around town. Alright, once you talk to this guy, he'll run off. Alright, so you got to find the hidden guy a few times. First time we just saw was at the purple house there. Second time he's just around the fountain in the middle and he battles you again. Third time he's in the phone booth off to the left. And then we're done. So we get a cutscene play out here. When you're ready, head into this building and we'll get into a battle here. And up the elevator. Some more battles. Keep going up. And we'll make our way through. Alright, so you'll just have a battle at the top here, get through that one. And you'll get a bit of a cutscene at the end here. And be walked back to this building. Okay, when you're ready, go up and talk to Hop and go in here. And we can sort of go into this league bit here. Alright, we're going to have a few battles to get through here. In between each battle, just make sure you're healing up and everything. Alright, so you're going to go to fight the champion, but then you're going to be sort of interrupted in that. Alright, so back in the slumbering world is the correct answer here. So we're going to go through, it'll warp us there automatically. And we can head up to the left. And we'll keep going through, just bike off to the left here. You notice the Pokemon are a lot stronger this time. There we go, we can talk to Hop here, and we see the 2 legendary Pokemon from this game. We're going to head up and towards this bit. Alright, so we see a sword and a shield there. We can pick those up and go back. Alright, once we've done that, we can head forward through here. I'm just going to go and heal up. Buy some Ultra Balls and stuff like that. Heading into the elevator on the right here, we're in the energy plant. Alright, so we got a battle to get through here. Alright, after that's done, we just talk to him briefly. And we can head back out. Just go and heal up after that battle. Now when you're ready to progress forward, it's actually in the energy plant again. You can head over to the left here, and Hop will be at the elevator. Make sure you save before this battle, and we'll fight this Pokemon. Alright, so we're going to have a big fight. Eventually we'll be able to lower its health to empty, and we can try and catch it. That's why I bought the Ultra Balls before, and it's also why we save, just in case catching doesn't work for whatever reason. And there we go. So we get walked back here, get a few cutscenes. I'm actually going to move that Pokemon we just caught into our party and move it near the top. Level 60 is very strong, not to mention it's a legendary Pokemon, so that'll help us get through battles a lot easier from now on. Once you're ready, just head out. Off to the right and up here. We can go and talk to the desk here and we get the championship match. With our legendary Pokemon now, it makes it a bit easier too. Alright, once you're through that battle, that's essentially the end of the main game. We'll get the credits in a second. But there's still a bit more post-game to do, so I'll just show you what to do there. Alright, so we load back in here. When you're ready, you can head out here. We get a cutscene. We also get the Master Ball. And we can head out. Alright, so we're going to head left. Just keep heading on through. And we'll come across Hop right at the end. There we go. Alright, so we'll have a battle with him. Alright, we'll finish the battle here, get a bit more of a cutscene. And we get 2 of my favourite characters with the amazing hair. And we have to battle them. Alright, once you've done that, we get walked back out. And we can head through here. We want to go down to the lab. Here we get more of a cutscene. Alright, heading out here. Now we can fly towards that town on the left there and go in. So we basically got to go back to all the gyms here and deal with the Pokemon that have taken over it. So you deal with the grass gym, and these guys are at the counter causing all sorts of antics. Get another cutscene on the outside there, and head over to the town on the right. You can heal up here and go to the water gym. Similar thing happens here, a Pokemon has taken over, we've got to deal with it. And then head out. You're going to fly down to the town on the bottom. Same thing, we got a Pokemon who's taken over the gym. Okay, then it says head back to the Pokemon lab, so we've got to head back here. just heal up on your way in. And we want to head down to the lab. Alright, these guys are back in, and we got to battle them again. Alright, once you fought them, we just get a little cutscene again. And we're going to head out. Okay, so we want to go into the fly menu again and head up here. Just heading into this gym. And same sort of thing, so there's Pokemon causing trouble in the gym. Head out, fly up to the top here, into the fairy town. Same thing, got to deal with this gym. Alright, once you've done this, just head out. We can fly over to this town on the right. Just heal up before we go into the gym. And all the way up here. Got another Pokemon to deal with. And we're going to head back out. Fly to this central town. Same thing, we've got a Pokemon to deal with here. Right, we can go towards this elevator and head down. And these guys are in the power plant. Alright, so you got to battle them again. Once you've done that, just head back out here, up the elevator. And we'll bike down and heal up. Right, back down into the energy plant. I'm going to go down the elevator here. Alright, so we're going to deal with this Pokemon. Alright, so save before you fight the second one. Depending on which game you're playing, you'll fight them in different orders. And the reason I say save is because we can catch this Pokemon. Now, I've used a Master Ball on it. That'll work every time. But if you want to save your Master Ball, which can be a good idea, you can just try and weaken it and use like an Ultra Ball or something. So we catch that Pokemon there. And we get a little cutscene play out. Alright, so when you're ready, you just head back out of the energy plant, up here. And we're going to fly back to our starting town. Make sure you're all healed out. You can put Zeg in first or whoever you just caught. All the way up here. And we find Hop. And then we have a battle. Okay, so work through your battle with him. And then that's pretty much everything we can do in the post game here. So you should have the box art legendary, which is good. Bit weird that we get that in the post game, but kind of a cool post game anyway. And that's pretty much everything I have to show you. So that'll be it. I hope you found this video useful, and thanks so much for watching.